Zeruiah bonded out of jail early this morning, and we now have the police report, and we know exactly what went down with Zeruiah, and 100% without a doubt who her victim was. As soon as Zeruiah was released, she ended up posting on her Facebook, and she said, "Hello everyone. I'm issuing this statement to address false narratives currently circulating about me. I want to be very clear. I did not attack my husband. Any claims suggesting otherwise are untrue. I am innocent and I will prove that in court. Because this is an active and pending legal matter, I will not be commenting further on the details. I take situations like this extremely seriously and trust the legal process to bring the truth forward. My heart is with my children. One of the things I was most proud of before appearing on television was the privacy I maintained for my family. And it pains me deeply that my children are now seeing their mother discussed publicly in the media and on social platforms." Okay, don't try to gaslight everyone else and acting like it's our fault for talking about your arrest, because we wouldn't even be talking about all this, and your children wouldn't have to see all this if it wasn't for you allegedly attacking Troy. So she said they are now seeing their mother on social media. They do not deserve that. I love my children more than anything, and every decision I'm making right now is to protect them and create a better, more stable future for them. I love Troy with all my heart. What's understood doesn't need to be explained. What I found interesting is she doesn't deny Troy being the victim. She just denies attacking Troy. And she said, "At this time, I'm stepping away from my professional role. I work with children, and out of respect for them, their families, and my own family, I believe it is the responsible thing to do while I focus on resolving this matter and protecting my loved ones." It reminds me like when you have like a police officer that screws up and the whole world learns about it and they hurry up and resign before they have a chance to get fired. That's what this is giving here. Like, she would rather just quit instead and act like, "Oh, I wanted to quit anyway." She probably did that on purpose, so when she tries to get another job, she can try to control the narrative and just be like, "Oh, I decided to quit to focus on my family," or something, instead of the job revealing the real reason why they didn't want her working there anymore. She said, "I'm not affiliated with any organization, employer, or entity at this moment. This is simply me standing in my truth, focused on my family, and committed to clearing my name." Then she made another post and she said, "Laughing my butt off. Can't nothing break me. That's the status. And y'all can stop with the lies because y'all have nothing right. Anyways, happy Tuesday." Well, shout out to Rochelle Owens on Facebook, because she ended up tagging me in the police report that explains exactly what went down. And I just want to know, Zeruiah, what are the lies? Because it sounds like what people are mostly speculating has been validated by this police report. And remember that Troy was calling all his followers mofos for believing that he was a victim of Zeruiah. Well, the police report right here confirms that he indeed was Zeruiah's victim. It says on December 27th at 5:59 in the morning, I was dispatched to this residence in reference to a domestic disturbance. Upon my arrival, I met with deputy who briefed me on the accounts that were provided by the subjects on scene. The suspect, Zeruiah, and her husband, Dale Jones. What I find interesting is, why are they calling him Dale Jones? Is that like his legal first name? Because when I did digging, it was saying his legal first name was Troy. What I kind of feel like is he was lying to the officers and trying to act like his middle name is his first name, trying to hope that would throw officers off and maybe they could like attach the wrong name to the file. So if they were ever to go back to New Jersey and get busted fighting, they wouldn't get in trouble because there's a no contact order put in place because they have it under the wrong name. That's just pure speculation. You guys let me know what you think. But that now explains why it said Dale on there as the first name. Troy revealed he was sleeping, and while he was sleeping, Zeruiah took advantage of that time to go through his phone. She came across something she didn't like, and she ended up waking him up by hitting him in the face with a phone, and she was yelling, "What is this?" And while on the scene, law enforcement were asking, and they're trying to do fact-finding questions with Zeruiah's family, and Dale was heard spontaneously uttering that Zeruiah had hit him in the face with his phone, and she had hit him multiple times during their verbal altercation argument. After that, Zeruiah ended up hitting him in the face with his phone multiple times. She walked away from Troy. She entered the main residence of the Airbnb from the backyard mother-in-law suite. She went to the main residence's kitchen, and she retrieved a knife, and she was observed preparing to walk back towards Troy, and multiple family members witnessed this and rushed to Zeruiah by grabbing her arms to intervene and disarm Zeruiah. So the family wasn't there to stop her. No telling what would have happened. And I was just saying, in that gash that was on his arm in an earlier season, I was like, that looks exactly like somebody was just hacking at him with a knife. And it says Dale was looked over for any injuries, but no injuries were observed. He did not get medically assessed by Palm Beach County Fire Rescue when they're on scene. They did observe a bruise on Zeruiah's left thigh, and the family of Zeruiah advised that the bruise was a result of her bumping into furniture throughout their stay at the Airbnb, and that Zeruiah posted a video of herself on social media, and she was saying that she was going to sue the Airbnb for the furniture, causing her to bruise her left leg. She refused to allow on-scene LE to take photographs of the bruise, and based on the information I obtained, I believe there's probable cause for the arrest of Zeruiah. And they went ahead and arrested her. I'm very curious who called 911. I do have the 911 call that's supposed to be coming to me eventually when I do get more details on all this. I am going to speculate. I doubt it was Troy who called 911. I bet it was either the neighbor or the person who owns the Airbnb. Somebody who lives in the neighborhood did reach out to me, and they said that they spoke with neighbors, and they said that neighbors on the street said they heard Zeruiah and Troy fighting really loud. They could hear them all the way from the end of the street. I don't know if they're the ones that call the cops or if it was the Airbnb owner, because they're also speculating that there were cameras in the Airbnb, and maybe it was the Airbnb owner seeing craziness go down on the cameras, and maybe that's what caused him to be like, okay, let me call the police and make sure everything's okay. These are pictures of the inside of where they stayed at, and I just don't see what they're talking about, this furniture being all over the place to the point Zeruiah was running into it. Like, I'm sure she was just drunk, because people who said they saw her at the club, they said that she was super drunk that night. So she was probably just wasted bumping into everything. I don't know why she's trying to threaten to sue the Airbnb, but she loves threatening to sue people. She's been threatening to sue Mama Karen. She's threatening to sue the Airbnb. When I first talked about her when she was first on the show, she threatened to sue me over sharing her lawsuits and criminal information. After it was confirmed that it was Troy who was the victim, Karen said, "Cumface is back talking ish." She said, "One thing about me, I ain't gonna go to jail for the holiday for beating up my husband. You are a loser. Don't text me nothing else, you cumface biatch." And then she said, "You need to worry about you and your own family." I have a feeling now that Zeruiah is no longer employed, she's going to become 10 times worse about things like this, and going off on Karen, and being on social media, and calling the cops on people, or calling for checks to check up and make sure people's mental health are okay. Because last time me and Karen were both talking a lot about Zeruiah, in that same exact week, me and Karen both had people show up to our doors asking if we were okay mentally and if we wanted to take our lives. And I don't know who did it, but I still believe deep down in my heart that Zeruiah had something to do with it, just because she works in the mental health space. And she ended up cussing out Karen, and she said, "I've told you several times now to keep my effing name out your nasty ass, disgusting mouth. You don't know shit. You wasn't there, and we didn't want you there. I'll be up to Buffalo this week to press charges. I already have an open case against you, and you keep talking, saying lies. You're miserable and you're bitter, and you have no reason to be commenting anything. After Karen shared those messages, she posted on her Facebook and she said, I appreciate y'all sending me everything, but I already know I told y'all she worried about coming to Buffalo. She better be worrying about getting out that mess, and I already know Troy put an order out on you. I will be calling Troy's parole and probation officer to let him know that you're not supposed to be in that house. So you need to go find you somewhere else to live because you assaulted him. And like I said, there's a no contact order put in place, and one of her bond conditions is she's not allowed to be in touch with the victim, which is Troy. So she's not allowed to be in the same house as him or talk to him, or they could revoke her altogether. And someone said the truth's coming out. Troy lied on his post. She said, I want that biatch to try me. She thinks she's picking up shit at Troy. I'm going to knock that biatch from here to Kingdom Kong with my baseball bat if she keeps messing with me. I just want to know, what does Troy have to say now after he came out and tried to call everyone liars and say they didn't know what they were talking about? And it looks like the only liars here are Zeruiah and Troy. Like, I want to be shocked if now he suddenly posts that he's going to take a social media break and step back for a minute. And I want to be shocked if he tries to step back for a while until this dies down and then returns, hoping that people won't talk about it and they've moved on to bigger and better things. Like, he'll probably disappear until the new season starts of Love During Lockup and then magically reappear. You guys let me know what you think's going to go down. Zeruiah sounds pretty confident that she's going to get the charges dropped or thrown out. I think she feels confident because Troy's the victim, and she probably thinks that Troy's going to be on her side. And it sounds like he is on her side and that he's going to stay with her. He's like, I ride for my wife no matter what. She's official. I'm like, okay, official for what? Officially crazy is all I'm seeing. Officially abusive. But I think she feels like she's so confident that this is going to get thrown out since Troy's the victim. And she's like, okay, well, that's my man, so he's going to defend me. And if he says it didn't happen, they'll throw it out. But that's not always the case. You know, as long as the police have probable cause, there's multiple witnesses. Not only did Troy say out of his own mouth that Zeruiah had hit him with her phone or his phone and hit him multiple times on top of that. I don't know if it was with her fist or what, but he admitted that. And not only that, but Zeruiah's own parents sat there and admitted that she tried grabbing a knife and going after him. So that's what that aggravated assault with a deadly weapon charge must be all about. I don't think they're going to believe him, though, because they're going to be like, look, you're married to her. You have every reason to try to defend her because it benefits you at the end of the day. I think that Zeruiah is going to be found guilty from what I've heard from multiple witnesses. We got both parents and Troy, which are some of the closest people she has in her life, the people that should defend her if she didn't do anything wrong, but they're all admitting that she was abusive. So yeah, I think that's going to be hard to get this case thrown out like she thinks it is. Like, there are some like DV cases, like say someone tries to press charges and they don't show up to court. Sometimes they'll get lucky and they'll throw the case out and they'll drop the no contact. But there are cases where it doesn't matter what the victim says, they're still going to move forward. Like, for example, like Chance and his girlfriend Alyssa, like when he threw her out of the moving car, even though she's written multiple letters to the judge claiming that he didn't do that, even though she admitted to police that's what he did, they're still moving forward with the charges. So let me know what you guys think about all this mess in the comments below. Are you guys surprised? Let me know in the comments below, and thank you guys so much for watching.